the world's fastest male sprinter in the 100 meters, Jamaica's Kishane Thompson, and the Paris Olympic Games gold medalist in the men's 100 meters, Noah Lyles, both opened their indoor 60-meter 2025 season yesterday. So who ran the better race? And Shanoya Douglas cops gold. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. You drop a video at least one today here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. Are you ready? Yep, good to go. Well, Shanoya Douglas is back to her winning ways. At yesterday's staging of the New York International Showcase, the 17-year-old who reps for the Mushet High School in Jamaica walked away with both gold and silver alongside other Jamaican high schoolers. Shanoya Douglas copped gold in the finals of the girls' 300-meter invitationals, winning in a time of 37.78 seconds. Earlier in the day, Douglas secured silver in the girls' 600 meters dash invitational, crossing the line in a time of 7.44 seconds behind, I would say, the meet's star, Lisa Ray of Trinidad and Tobago, who won in a stadium record time of 7.24 seconds. Lisa Ray did an exceptional job yesterday, as did Shanoya Douglas. Here is the women's 60-meter dash.
Shanoya Douglas, a Jamaican national champion from Mushet, is in 6th. New York International Showcase is underway. And look at Lisa Ray go. 7:26 her national lead. How fast did she go at Ocean Breeze?
The 17-year-old Shanoya Douglas is quoted as saying, "I was very nervous going into the 300 meters because I had only practiced it in training, but midway through the race I felt comfortable and knew I could do it. Running indoors was challenging at first, but I am grateful." The island's high schoolers, such as Nastasia Fletcher and Calabar High School's 4x200 meter relay team, also added gold to the island's tally. Hydel High School's Nastasia Fletcher, the reigning Carifta Games on the 400 meter champion, dominated the girls' 500 meters varsity, winning comfortably in a time of 1 minute 12.98 seconds.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
Now, Noah Lyles opened his 2025 season yesterday in the 60 meters. This he did at the RAD Sports Complex Invitational 2025. Now, in both the prelims and in the finals, Noah Lyles ran a time of 6.62 to take the win in both prelims and invitational, and ran the race that we have come to expect him to run, you know, where he comes from behind. Let's take a quick look at the race.
And clean start with Noah Lyles on lane 4. Lyles in a close race.
Now, in all fairness to Noah Lyles, that was not a horrible start. It was a decent start. And it was also his very first race for the 2024 season. But we'll get into that a little later. Also yesterday, the fastest man in the world for 2024, meaning competing athlete over the men's 100 meters, Jamaica's Kishane Thompson, opened his indoor season. Remember, he did run at the Central Hurdles and Relays event that took place at GC Foster a week ago, where he set that time of 6.48. But this was outdoors, where there were the elements. This is indoors, his first indoors meet, and I'm going to say it at the very beginning of this segment that I don't think he's done many of these runs, many indoor 60-meter runs, which is a very different experience from the outdoors. He ran a time of 6.56 to take the win. He also won his prelim quite easily. Here is his run.
Thompson, the fastest man in the world this year in 4. Thompson's got a little bit of work to do here because he's under pressure from Kemp. Now he's coming across the line. Good run towards the outside there by Al Baloshi of Oman. Now, has he hurt himself? He's taken the win.
Now, as we pointed out in yesterday's video, there was a moment of tension as you saw at the very end of the race. He bounced off the wall and sat down, which is a little unusual. And he did look kind of uncomfortable, but someone had pointed out to me that I should have shown the second half. I'm going to explain why I didn't yesterday. It's because of the copyright issues. You're not sure what you might get a copyright claim for, but I'm going to show you that he did get up and he did look comfortable after. Take a look.
Just want to make sure that there's a little bit of a tweak there, isn't there?
Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. First up, let's take a look at Noah Lyles' run. Lyles ran a time of 6.62 in both the prelims as well as the finals, which, just based on time, he was not the better of both men. If we're just looking at sheer time. Now, I can say for Noah Lyles, this was his very, very first race for the season. So that might be a factor. The race he ran, the start was a decent start. It wasn't great. His starts are never very great. And he did do what we have come to see him do, which is run from behind. He does have explosive finishing speed. I gotta give him that. I can't take that from him. The execution of the race was what we have gotten used to Noah Lyles doing. And like I said, it wasn't a great time. It was 6.62. It was decent. So just based on the time, Kishane Thompson got the better of him. The execution, like I said, is what we have anticipated. It's the usual Noah Lyles. But in Noah Lyles' defense, and someone is asking me, why am I defending Noah Lyles? I'm trying to be balanced. I'm trying to be honest, and give you, because the truth is we can only assess what's really happening if we are honest with what we see. So he did what Noah Lyles normally does, and as I pointed out in yesterday's video, I don't think there was anyone there to really press him. There was no one there to push him to go any faster than 6.62, and he probably just did just enough to ensure that he won, because he's highly competitive and winning is what's most important to him, as it is to most sprinters, by the way. So in terms of sheer time, Kishane Thompson takes this one. In terms of execution, I don't know, it's the usual Noah Lyles execution, decentish start, and the usual execution, so it was okay. Now let's talk about Kishane Thompson. Now, as I said in yesterday's video, I'm going to go back through this. It is evident to me that Kishane Thompson has not ran many indoor 60 meters. The way he executed the 60 meters at the GC Foster when he ran at 6.48 outdoors, which is actually a little bit more difficult because he was running into, I think it was a minus 2.1 wind. So that means the wind was blowing at him, slowing him down as he ran towards the finishing line. So technically that was a more difficult race to run, but he is used to running outdoor events, not indoors. So I kind of think, looking back at the race, and one of you did leave a comment that I should mention. That comment came from Neil Bird with a Y, 3998, and Bird says it's actually there right before this picture. He says he believes that what really impacted Kishane Thompson was the surface of the indoor surface, which is something that he's not used to. And the truth is, Neil, thank you for mentioning that, because I never even thought about that, which is kind of very obvious. I thought about everything else but that. And this is one of the reasons why I love the Royals who come here. Many of you are unimaginably well versed in track and field. And this this setting is about all of us learning and improving and growing. So that actually does make a lot of sense, and it would explain why he looked to have been so uncomfortable after the race, because running on that kind of surface, running on as against running at the stadium, for instance, or running on the GC Foster track is a very different experience. I mean, you do remember that one of the reasons why Brianna Liston's coach at LSU in her first year there did not want her running because of her, she had to adjust to the surface, and it really it impacted her. It was the second year that we saw her really sparkle. So it could also be that he's just not used to meeting Kishane Thompson running on the surface. So the truth is, his time, very good, decent time. I think the time could have been faster, but as I pointed out yesterday, if you go back and look at the race, it was not the greatest execution. His start was not what we are used to, and he got through in the end because of his sheer power and speed. He was pressed, which is kind of unusual because I don't think there was anyone in that race who could really press Kishane Thompson, and I think it really has to do with he's just not used to that environment, and it's a very different. I've pointed out in previous videos, it's a very different thing running outdoors as against running indoors. They're almost unrelated. Getting used to the surface, etc., etc. So this being his debut, so to speak, running the indoor 60 meter, I would have to say he was the one of the two athletes, himself and Noah Lyles, running at a disadvantage. Noah Lyles does this every day. This is a normal thing for him to run on that kind of surface indoors. We've seen him do that countless times, certainly in the last 2 to 3 years. So the fact that although Kishane Thompson was clearly uncomfortable, was adjusting and still managed to run a faster time, a time of 6.56 as against Noah Lyles is 6.62. I would have to say the person who ultimately executed this race better, given his inexperience, has got to be Kishane Thompson. So I give this one to Kishane. This would be a win had they both been running on the same surface on the same day, executing the same race. Kishane Thompson would have won this quite easily. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. Now, I should say this before I end the video. Shanoya Douglas. What a gift. What a gift. Now, we did talk about Shaquane Gordon, the Calabars 4x200 meters, and Miss Fletcher from Heidel. But 17-year-old Shanoya Douglas Bushett is going to be she's already an incredible talent, and I can see her growing, and what they're doing with her is very smart, giving her all this kind of exposure. Now, don't forget to check out our merch at printify.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification button, and hit the like button. Remember, you are royals. You're kings and queens. Bless us.